Hi folks, Pete here from Ashton's Cars on this very sunny day. Today you're looking at a 2010 Range Rover Sport. This is the 3-litre diesel with the HSE spec. It's a 2010 model and it's coming to us from a local dealership. Unfortunately has previously been registered as a Category S car. They did a little bit of research into the reasons behind that, and apparently some debris from a vehicle went through the windscreen and damaged the front end of the car slightly a few years back, and the car was deemed well, written off by this insurance company. Obviously that was pretty minimal damage, so it's been repaired, put back on the road, and I think is a really clean looking example today. These are very, very popular cars. They're a car that we do sell quite often. We do know some of the problem areas, so we go right through them before we put them up for sale. So this one's going to have a full workshop check over on it, full service, just to make sure everything is absolutely A1 on it, as it seems at the moment. And we'll put a new MOT on it with no advisories as well, for good measure. If looked after properly, they can be a really, really great car. And I've just driven this one about 100 miles just to make sure that it is what it's supposed to be, and it is. That's the good news. Drives exceptionally well. Suspension's all working as it should. I've not had any warning lights come up, except for one saying my key battery is low, which is just literally a watch battery in the key, so that's going to be easy to solve. And it looks very, very clean and tidy. Obviously it is a Category S. We have full disclosure. We tell everyone anything that we know about cars, so we will obviously be very clear about that when we advertise it. But you know, I don't think at this sort of age it's something that you really need to worry about a lot, as long as you know. It's kind of a case that, you know, knowing what you're buying is key. If it's a very clean car with a category on it, I would prefer that to something that's HPI clear but a bit of a dog. You know, this car is not a dog by any stretch of the imagination. It's a very, very nicely looked after vehicle by the looks of it. I always think they look at their best, these, when they're finished in black, and of course this one is. And HSE spec gives you a really, really nice specification. Let's have a quick look. As well as keyless entry, you get perforated leather seats, which look pretty fantastic. And you know, you can see this car's done about 100,000 miles and there's very little wear in that seat. It looks fantastic. You've got a sat nav as well as reverse camera on the big display there, and the Harman Kardon hi-fi system, which has got an absolutely brilliant sound. Plenty of wood and leather in here as well to keep the traditional Land Rover, Range Rover buyers happy. And this one still has its original overmats, which have protected the carpets and done their job extremely well. Mileage on this car currently is 104,000 miles. So when you think of the age of the car, it's coming up to 15 years old. That's quite low mileage, really. Now in the back, you have a really good spec again. Obviously it's full leather with the perforated leather. You've got ISOFIX points, and you even have the heated rear seats in this model. So again, HSE spec is probably what I would be looking for on one of these as a minimum. You do get lesser spec models without the screen and without those heated seats, but you know, it is a Range Rover. If you want it to have that Range Rover feel, you want to be going for HSE or above in one of these. And of course, you've got that capacious boot. It's huge. Look at that. Got my tray plate in it at the moment, which is looking a bit battered, but you get the idea. It has got the original floor in relatively good condition. There's a couple of little marks on it. It's also got this hard cover that goes over the top of all that. So yeah, it's as you would expect of the age of the car. Pretty good condition, really. I'm glad to see the parcel shops there and intact. And of course I have got that tow bar. Now a lot of people buy these off us for towing. Sorry, I shouldn't have slammed that, it's soft close. These cars will tow 3.5 ton. There's not that many cars that will do that, but the Range Rover Sport is one of them, and it's also probably one of the sort of low cost examples that you will find of a car that will tow 3.5 ton comfortably. It has got air suspension as well, which obviously is the one thing I would look for. If you're buying one of these, make sure that's all working properly and make sure there's no issues with turbos and EGRs on it. So a good drive, taking it through the gears, make sure there's no loss of power, any revs, and make sure you haven't got any engine warning lights coming on. and then just raise and lower that suspension and make sure that goes up and down properly, because they are quite prone for compressors going down. You've got airbags that can fail. You've got height level sensors, which, while not being serious, are a pain in the neck if they go wrong. So you need to buy one, really, if you're looking at one of these, that has all of that stuff working properly. It should self-level when you park it, which this car has, and yeah, I mean, it should sit right. If it looks like it's squatting down on the back end, then it's probably a car to be avoided, because it can get costly when you go looking, trying to find faults on these and searching through, trying to work out what has gone wrong with your air suspension. You can end up replacing quite a lot before you find the solution. So buy one that's right, and don't be tempted to buy one that you feel looks cheap when actually it's just a bag of nails. So that's my advice with Range Rovers. Now, there's plenty of people out there who have bought a bag of nails and will tell you they're the worst car ever and they're nothing but trouble, but I've had loads of these and I found them to be very, very good, reliable vehicles. They do cost more to service and run than a Ford Focus, of course. They were very expensive cars when new, and I think a new Range Rover Sport now will set you back over £100,000. So, you know, they are a proper prestige vehicle, and you need to be expecting to, you know, have a little bit of spare cash there for the running costs on one of these if you're buying one. Fuel consumption typically with this turbocharged V6 3-litre engine, you're going to get about 35 to the gallon, which isn't bad. A little bit better than the V8s. I mean, the V8s you're probably looking in the high 20s. So, you know, for practical use, I would say the 3-litre is probably the one to go for. But apart from that, really, it's a case of just using a bit of common sense and not buying the cheap, nasty one that you've seen advertised. Although this is a Cat S, and we will price it accordingly, it's certainly got the feel of a quality car when I've been driving it, and that's what's important in one of these. Let's get behind the wheel and have a little look how it runs. They're very lovely to step into, these. They really are beautiful to drive. I mean, there is nothing else like them. It's keyless go and keyless ignition, so you press the start button by here and then there will be a startup sequence. Now, as you can see, it is telling you that my smart key battery is low. That's very easy to fix. It's a watch battery that fits inside the key fob, so I will be doing that very shortly, and I will just click off that message. Now, always click off that message, because other messages will follow if there's a fault on the car. The little orange triangle there's telling me that there's a message on the system, which is about the smart key battery, but there's no other messages in there. That's the crucial thing. You don't want to click off that and then find that it's also got something about an engine system fault or an air suspension fault. That's very, very important if you're buying one of these. Cruise control is to the left of your wheel. Phone controls are to the right of your wheel, and we've got a big multifunction computer and audio controls there for the stereo. I will very quickly show you the reverse camera, which is a very, very good reverse camera indeed. It's quite a bright day today, so probably not showing up as well as it should do, but works an absolute treat. And we've got front and rear sensors on this car, which are all fully working. And we've also got a navigation system, which, once I've agreed to the terms and conditions, you can see on there. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? The two-tone leather in this car is one of my favourite colour combos. The lighter seats, I think personally, freshen the whole interior up and make it look a lot more modern than the ones that you see with the black. But of course, that's down to personal taste. I personally prefer this. You can always buy seat covers if you happen to think these are a bit too light, but they're pretty hard wearing, these. They wipe clean. We've got heated seats. We've got dual climate control air conditioning, which I'm very glad of today because it's rather warm outside. And all the car has just got this air of quality with the nice stitching on the dashboard, more stitching on the seats, and the leather is, well, it's top grade perforated leather. It does feel like you're in a £100,000 car when you're sat in one of these. They have become such good value, these Range Rovers, and I'm personally a massive, massive fan of them. I always do. I'm a realist, and you know what, these will cost more to run than any other car sort of in this sort of class, pretty much, but they're kind of worth it. They drive nicer. They have got a feel that is just far and away better than any other car in its class, and I personally love them. So if you are looking to buy a well-sorted Range Rover Sport, well, we have one available. Give us a shout. And if you're just looking in general, well, use the advice that I've given you on here. Check your turbos are all boosting up properly, check for boost leaks on them, and check that your air suspension is working properly if you're looking to buy one of these. If you're looking to buy one imminently, give us a call. 07932 873 646 is the number, and this car will be available for nationwide delivery, and we're happy to take part exchange. So give us a call, let us know what you got. 07932 873 646 is the number to call. And if you have a look in the item description of this video, you will see some more details of this particular car, which will hopefully give you a little bit better idea of specification and equipment. So thanks ever so much for watching. Have a great day wherever you are. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications to be kept up to date with all the goings on and cars that we've got coming into stock. And we hope to see you very, very soon. But for now, have a great day wherever you are. Thanks for watching.